Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan. And it's time for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First for the Nets, Kyrie Irving is out there with Curry. And it's Andre Drummond at 6'11", 275 pounds, the big athletic presence out of the University of Connecticut inside at center. And it's Durant in at the 4 spot. And looking at the 76ers.
Well, James Harden, clearly one of the most potent offensive threats in the game. Can do it all. Pass, shoot with range, get to the rim. He led the league in free throw attempts last season with over 10 a game.
Now, here is Irving. And Simmons kicks to Curry. Irving. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Irving's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way. And Clark, you mentioned Harden, great at drawing fouls. He stays low. He holds the ball low. And when he brings it up, if the defender reaches, he just guides his arms up under theirs to draw the contact. It's a very clever move.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of players over the years do it. Kevin Durant has done it. Tim Duncan before that. Going way back, Sam Perkins used to make that move. It's really a tricky play, and it's tough to guard, but when you perfect it offensively, it's really a weapon.
And that one's good. Durant.
Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
And here are the 76ers now. It's a three-point game. And Durant sends it back. Irving against Harris. Irving passes to Drummond. And it takes that one up and powers it through.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Well, they already had him staggered, and now all of a sudden they're throwing some haymakers.
I think it's safe to say, guys, that the Atlantic Division was one of the tougher ones in the East last year, if not all of the NBA, but both New York teams improved and Boston made the playoffs as usual. Philly was able to hold their own, though, even in a down year.
Right side, Irving. Dishes it to Simmons. Backs down. The kick out to Irving. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Well, Clark, as you said, Philadelphia did remain respectable against the rest of the Atlantic Division, even in a lost season. Steve, they had a 7-9 record for them, and even while they weren't 500, they certainly played better against the Atlantic Division than they did outside the Atlantic.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is because there's some deep-seated rivalries between teams like Philly and Boston and New York. So even if a team like the Sixers is struggling, their fans are going to bring it on those nights when the rivals come to town.
And here is Durant. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Good!
I think what I like about Durant, guys, is his ability to create his own shots. He's got those long arms. He's about 6'10". He can create space off the dribble, and then he shoots that ball with a high release. So there's literally nothing you can do. Just try to challenge the shot and hope he misses.
Well, he'll give you a 30-piece bucket, a 40-piece bucket, and at the end of the game, he's giving you a clutch bucket. That's what KD is. He is a scorer, personified. There's nothing he can't do to put the ball in the basket. And up and down season for the Nets last year, and the playoffs were just more of the same. They ended up getting knocked out by the Bulls in the only first-round matchup that went to 7 games.
0. And he drops it in from the low post. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Durant, guarded by Harris. Durant, no good. Well, back to the Nets in the playoffs. They lost a game at Barclays early and looked to be on the ropes down 3-1 after 4 games, but they did well just to steal one in Chicago and force a game 7.
What a strange series that was. The Bulls made that miracle comeback behind Nate Robinson in 1 game and then ended up going on the road to Brooklyn and winning game 7. What a disappointment for the Nets in their debut season in Brooklyn.
Here's Simmons. 76ers getting the bucket. Hits the jumper. Simmons got his first points in this one.
Looked like the defense kind of backed off him, and he took advantage.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I had a chance to talk with the head coach for Brooklyn. Doing a good job staying tight on their perimeter shooters is something that he wants his guys to focus on. He knows how much this team can hurt you if you give them too much room on the perimeter, and they're determined not to let that happen in
Doris, thank you. Obviously, Clark, the three ball is a big concern for any defense.
Well, yeah, it is, Kevin, but the upside is you're not getting broken down in the lane and you're not giving them free throws, but you still have to challenge those shots.
The Nets making a switch here. First quarter play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Mills dishes to Brown. He feeds it to Mills. Pulls it up. And Durant gets it to go. The assist by Mills. And it's 7 points for Kevin Durant.
He's feeling it here to start the game. That's 3 out of 4 already.
You know, often when we think of freakish athleticism in the NBA, it's those with strength and explosiveness like LeBron or Dwight Howard. But Kevin Durant physically is unique in his own right. Sure, he's got a slight build, but his mobility for his height, unparalleled.
The kick out to Brown. Fires for three. Can't get it to go. The 76ers lead. Here's Green. Harden outside. Pass to George. 6 to shoot. Stolen by Durant. And here's the fast break. Durant leading the way. And good on the basket. Book it. Brown's got his first points of the night.
Both teams on fire right from the opening tip.
Pedal to the throttle, Steve, just like we like it.
The feed now to Harden. Here's the three. The shot is off. Here's Brown. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Boy, a big bonus for them in the quarter as he beats the buzzer. Talk about.
And off we go, a close game. Now starting the second quarter. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
Guys, they're really passing the ball well here in the first half.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
Banked in off the glass. Brown's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Nets.
You know, as great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year in 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs. The Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest.
Johnson goes in. Great tee that time from Green.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Kicks to Millsap. Five to shoot. Lets it fly. And blocked. But he gets it back. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Some changes for Brooklyn. Simmons is checked in. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Brown. And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. Kicks it out to Johnson. Taken away. And here's the break. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
It's stolen. And now Philadelphia on the break. Blocked. In transition, here come the Nets. Irving leading the charge. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, for Kevin Durant, last season probably his best yet. Among other things, he increased his assists while limiting his turnovers. Durant said, "It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for the play to develop, whether finding my teammate or finding a shot for myself." Guys, he said the game is slowing down for him, and he understands that to win it all, he has to get the best out of his teammates. He can't do it by himself.
Well, you have to like that focus on the team first. Thanks, Doris. And Simmons kicks to Johnson. He dishes it to Simmons. Irving buries it from three-point range. Irving's got 6.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
You know, a lot of players in this league are so clever with the ball, they can make defenders look foolish. That's what Kyrie Irving does. I mean, he's just a magician with the ball.
Pass to Millsap for the three. It's rebounded by Simmons. Brooklyn leading by 5. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And going back to Kyrie Irving, ambidextrous, they say, with the ball in his hand.
He really is. He can go both ways, and he plays with such great pace and energy offensively. Keeps the ball tight on the string, a true point guard. And I think his assist numbers will only climb as the offensive players around him continue to get better.
Steve was saying he was amphibious. I didn't understand that at all, Steve. Good on the second free throw.
Boy, 76ers had a season they'd like to soon forget. But the one thing they were able to do last year was win at home. Good thing, too, given how unforgiving Philadelphia fans can be. No tougher sports fans in all of sports than Philadelphia.
He kicks to Simmons. Back to Irving. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
And back to the 76ers at home. Never a good idea to be under 500 at home in a city that has booed Santa Claus before. Steve, luckily, they were able to avoid that, going 23-18 here last season.
Well, maybe Santa Claus had a bad year that year, Kevin. I don't know. But look, I mean, if you're stinking it up in front of Philly fans, they're going to let you know. I mean, they're going to boo you. They're brutally honest. On the flip side, though, you play well. I mean, they're going to back you.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Really left to one. That's a timeout called the Nets.
I think it's fair to say that the top of the Eastern Conference has been getting tougher over the last few seasons. Unfortunately for the Sixers, they've headed the other direction. They've been going south, and part of why they were on the outside of the playoffs looking in.
Three-pointer, that's good. Irving's got 6 in the quarter.
Well, the defense not doing a good job at all of getting after him. They've got to crowd him and make it tough for him. That's his second this quarter.
And back to what you were saying, Clark, about Philadelphia going through a lot of roster changes last year. You're right, in a season where a lot of other teams in the East put it all together. Steve, bad timing for Philadelphia.
Yeah, bad timing. Roster changes and injuries, of course. I mean, the big trade for Bynum looked like it was going to be something that could help them get to the top of the East, but Bynum never played a single game for them. And so it's understandable why Philadelphia struggled.
How about that, going up strong? I mean, he doesn't care how much height he's giving up. It's attitude with him.
Misses in close. The 76ers trail by 7. 43 seconds left in the second quarter. That's good.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity they have.
Well, they need to be.
The kick out to Aldridge. Irving attacking. It's tipped. So it looks like the Nets will retain possession here. And Brooklyn may get a change here. Aldridge backing in. Philadelphia's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. They've definitely hit that groove offensively.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive. And I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Yeah. Steve, you like groove, don't you?
I do. I love groove, Kevin, and I love the attack mode this team is in, too. I mean, they're really getting into the play. They're getting whatever they want offensively.
Some hang time on that rim. Puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
Oh, boy. Whipped cream, cherry on top. It always comes back to dessert.
And we're through 2 here and a good one. Brooklyn ahead, up by...
Now, presented by Sprint.
And welcome to the halftime show, a close game.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
A great shot of the William Penn statue, 27 feet tall at the top of City Hall here in Philadelphia as we return.
Philadelphia needs to do a better job guarding against Irving.
9 points, and he's still working hard for those rebounds.
Well, that's what he has to do. Solid effort on the glass can be the difference between winning and losing a lot of nights, guys.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Yes, guys, the Brooklyn Nets going all in this season. With a team payroll of about $100 million, they have an additional luxury tax bill of around $75 million. Guys, the owner sparing no expense in constructing this roster. But no question, a high burden of expectation for what they'll achieve. It's championship or bust.
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris. Durant, the pass to Simmons. And a strong finish with two hands.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
Well, now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Harris with it.
A big change for the Nets, who stormed up the leaderboard in the East and even had a chance of taking a very tough Atlantic division last season. They actually were in the picture for the title until the end.
Here's Irving. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. And the Nets' first goal going forward this year is to make that jump into the best team in New York and the rest of the division. Steve, a lot of strong teams in the Atlantic, but they do well against them.
Yeah, last year they had the best interdivision record than anybody in the Atlantic. So, if you can take care of business within your division, it always puts you in a good position down the stretch.
And so Irving nails both of them.
It's been a while since the Nets have been one of the feared teams in the East. They had their best season since their days when they would make trips to the finals in the early 2000s. Really an excellent turnaround effort from the entire organization.
Here's Harden. And the shot is good. Harden's got 10.
Yeah, Harden is really an instant offense type guy, Kevin. He's been a role player off the bench the last couple of years, but it seems like he's ready to emerge into a star. He's instant offense when he comes into the game.
And Steve, it's not just because Harden can get hot in a hurry. It's also because he can find ways to get the shots he wants. And he isn't just a catch and shoot guy. He knows when to put it on the floor, create some space, and then pull up for the two. He's also a better passer than advertised.
Number 22. And the three off target. And for the Nets, who were one of the big turnaround stories from last season, they did it by beating the team, Steve, they were supposed to in the rest of the Eastern Conference. Great record against the East.
Yeah, 36-16 against their Eastern foes, so pretty solid in that regard. They decided early on that the key was they had to get home court advantage in the first round, and they set their goal and they hit it. Unfortunately, they got knocked off by Chicago in that first round.
Here's again, Philadelphia.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. And defensively, the wind has just been knocked out of their sails.
Need to get more bodies committed down low.
Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Durant dishes to Simmons. The kick out to Irving. And there's the pass to Simmons. Just 4 to shoot. Knocks down the 10-footer. Simmons got 9. The 76ers trail by 7. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game. The Nets making a switch here. Brown's checked in. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Back to Green. Passes it to Harden. Three-pointer. Shot is off. So Brooklyn will take it the other way. An even 3-on-3 break. Feeds to Irving. From deep three-point range, no good.
I don't mind that shot, though. He's an excellent three-point shooter. He's just showing a lot of confidence there.
I'm right with you there, Steve. I mean, let it flow when you're feeling it.
Great-looking bounce pass to set up that play.
Brooklyn leading by 5. Here's Durant. Good on the shot. Durant's got 9 points.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
We've got 1:28 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Harden. It's hauled in by Brown.
A big problem for the 76ers last season was finding late-game offense. I mean, you look at a quarter-by-quarter breakdown of how they scored, and they were second to last in the league in fourth-quarter points.
And it's Green with the jam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
The Nets have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Here's Irving outside for Curry. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got 3 assists now in this one. Well, back to what you said, Clark, about the 76ers. They had some players that could create on their own, but when things began to tighten up in the fourth, it helped Steve to have different shot creators, and that just didn't happen for them.
They were planning to play inside out, Kevin, when they had Biden through the trade. They thought they could have a low post man who could dominate. But without him, they were really unable to find any sort of offensive rhythm with the rest of their talent.
Gets the bucket.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
And the slam by Blake Griffin. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That'll be his second foul of the game. There's the dish to George. Beyond the arc, and that one's good. George has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Now, here is Irving. He's got 14. Here's Curry with the 3, and no good trying to get that one. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we... All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Nets.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And they continue to knock down the long-range three-point shot as well.
This is to Harris. Clock at 6. Outside, George. The finger roll finish at the bucket. George has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the 76ers. Claxton guarded by Harris. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. And Durant, here we go. Irving up top. Durant. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got assist number 5 here tonight.
And now both of these clubs really in a groove here.
Already a high-scoring game, but it has become an offensive showcase down the stretch.
The 76ers trail by 5. Back to Harris. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. And Mills with a clear path to the hoop. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Outside, George. 0. Again, Philadelphia.
This has been a different kind of game here in the second half. I thought both clubs a little slow in the first.
No question, but they're really going at it now.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what the Nets coach was going over with his team. His message, don't even look at the score right now. We've got to make one play at a time and execute. That's how we'll take this thing home. Kevin, he's trying to keep him focused.
And it's blocked by Curry, and Green gets it to go.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
It's a great formula, and it's really a sign that the offense is clicking.
Here's Durant. Swiped it away. And now Philadelphia on the break. And laid in to finish the break. 14 points for James Harden.
You know, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest of it seemed easy.
0. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Kevin, he's extremely adept at creating his own shot. You know, we got a lot of catch-and-shoot guys in the NBA, but players who can beat you off the dribble and score are tough to come by.
And here's something else, Steve. He invites contact when he's attacking the rim. He doesn't try to finesse his way through anything. He's going through bodies.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Simmons is checked in. It's stolen by Harris. Jumps up, and it's blocked by Mills. And they'll keep possession. Takes the 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Curry's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Defense better watch out. They better be alert because this guy can make threes, as we saw in the first half.
There's a good screen. To the paint. The shot. Here's Embiid. Soft touch off the glass.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
And Mills kicks to Durant. Left side Durant. Here's Mills. It's Durant with the drive. That's good.
Guys, he's got the length to get to the rim, and when he gets there, you never see a clumsy or awkward finish out of him. Everything is smooth and fluid.
.151 left to play here in the fourth. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Simmons passes to Durant, and that one's good. Durant's got 6 here in this quarter.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Curry against Harden. And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way.
Huge turnover there, and at a bad time, too. You have to value every possession.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Here's Simmons. Outside for Curry. Wide open look. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Griffin against Harris. Here's Embiid.
Ooh, a pressure basket right there.
Now that's coming through in the clutch.
Now Mills. He feeds it to Durant. Outside, Green. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Blake Griffin. The 76ers have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Pass to Harden. Harden left side. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Embiid sinks it.
He's so clutch, Kevin. When the pressure is at its highest, that's when he's at his very best.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. They're down by 3. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what's your take?
Well, down 3, you don't necessarily have to go for the 3. You could go for the quick bucket and then the foul.
I'm not sure. I mean, in this situation, I think they should look for the 3, Steve. I mean, try to tie this thing up. You've got 3-point shooters. Let it fly.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Smart foul there. You got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will vary him for sure.
Here is Durant. Knocks down the three.
They are killing them with that three-point shot here in the second half.
Well, the defense fully stretched out trying to stop that shot and still not able to get it done.
And now they foul and stop the clock.
At the line for two.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game. He passes it to Drummond. The feed to Irving. They'll get another chance. So it's the 76ers taking the win in a close game. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
Nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight games.
Well, that'll do it.